I couldn't imagine until I had my daughter that you could have so much love and for something and for somebody, and to just feel like that's totally torn away from you and with no say spins you out of control. It does heal you, and to talk about it.
Because child loss is such an intense loss in your life, and not everybody goes through it, that you probably don't have a close friend or relative that is also going through it. You know, when you lose a parent or a sibling, you might be able to find, you know, somebody a little bit easier that you can relate to and talk to about it. But child loss is just so intense and so out of order. It just feels like you need somebody that's going through it to relate to. Sorry. I never want to say it's any sort of silver lining or, you know, there was a reason that it happened. I think what has resulted is just us trying to figure a way to survive without her here. And being able to see, you know, the lives she's still touching, and how many times a day I get to write her name. I get to write Luella's Lodge or send it in an email where I wouldn't before. That's really special because, you know, as time passes, people stop asking about the child that you've lost, or don't ask as much. So it's been, you know, to be able to say her name and talk about her as much as we still do is a gift. And yeah, just knowing that we're hoping this exists long after we're gone. And so people may know Luella for generations to come. Ben and I might be completely forgotten, and that's okay.
A grief retreat can sound intimidating, or maybe like you're going to some sort of counseling or therapy that maybe that's turning you off.
It's a safe space where I think parents feel like they can finally let their guard down and not feel judged. Like, if I'm laughing and having a good time, the outside world thinks that I'm over it and I'm not grieving anymore. Whereas, you know, when you're with your comrades who understand grief and child loss, they know you can be crying one second and laughing the next, and vice versa. So just understanding that joy and laughter and grief coexist at the same time, all the time. One of the only places where you can talk about the nitty-gritty and the really ugly parts and the really traumatic parts of child loss. You can't necessarily share that with, you know, everybody in the outside world. So being able to sit down with parents who understand and share those details, it helps you process it. It helps you make sense of it, I think. And I don't, like, I would say yes, to a certain extent it can be taxing, but the healing, like I said before, kind of the good outweighing the bad, the healing that comes from it, I think trumps, you know, any sort of emotional tax it puts on you. We have Facebook, Instagram, and then we have our website. We also send out a quarterly newsletter, but typically we try to have our retreat schedule posted at the beginning of the calendar year, so you can hop on our website or follow us on Facebook or Instagram. And we do, it feels like our retreats are filling up fast, so don't, if you're thinking about it, you know, reach out with questions, but try to get signed up quickly if you are eyeballing a retreat.